Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back once again. Today we are going to be taking a look at the interior for the bakery that we recently finished, and hopefully by doing this we can give you guys some inspiration and also maybe some ideas on some things you could try for your very own bakery. And like always, before we go on inside, I did want to show you guys some of the changes I've made to the exterior. First off, you'll notice I added these little feet things or support things to this pillar supporting the outdoor section, and those are just made out of the spruce wood stairs, and these are actually on both sides. And then another little minor addition I placed in was this sign above the front door, and this is just for passersby to kind of more easily recognize what this building is without actually having to go inside. And as for the major exterior change, we have this little market area out here. Before it was just the oven, but as you guys will notice now, it has become quite a bit more. So first off, over here to the left, we have this sort of display counter where I guess the most recently baked item would be, and then over to the right side of that we have a counter where the customer would actually pay for his items. That's kind of what the scale here represents. By the way, if you want cool stuff like the scale, or say this box of berries, you will need the Conquest Texture Pack, World Edit, and Optifine, and you can't be in update 1.8. For some reason it doesn't allow for the block IDs to be changed. But speaking of block IDs, I think this one was 101:13. That sounds about right. But that just allows you to get kind of cool stuff like that. And then there's also quite a bit of other things you can test out and change around. But other than that, I think there's just quite a bit of storage out here. Also some more baked items, as you can see. And just a lot of more decorations, such as the flowers or the mini chest, and also these little knives. And then also behind the counter, I did hide these little pots and pans. But I think for the exterior, that is about it. So we'll go ahead and move on to the inside. So for the interior, I've got to say this is probably one of my favorite ones I've done in a while. Partially just because it's one of the only bakery interiors I've ever done. But overall, it just really had kind of a cool atmosphere, and there's a lot of stuff that needed to be put into it. But as you kind of first walk in, you'll notice this little sit-down area over here to the left, where I guess you could say a customer with maybe more time on his hands who wants to actually sit down and enjoy his meal can come, whereas the outdoor section is almost like a medieval drive-thru if you think about it. I mean, just imagine like a carriage coming down here and they just pay for their item and go on their merry way. But for the interior, we have kind of a bit more focus on someone who can actually come in and spend their time here for a little bit longer. So we have that little seating section over there to the left, and then over here to the right is a little do-it-yourself station where you can maybe set down your baked item and then pour some sugar on it, which would, I guess you could imagine that would be in the cup there. And then as for the kitchen where the baker would stand, we have quite a bit of stuff in here, and it's mostly just a bunch of functional and kind of purposeful items, such as the berries here that the baker would stuff his cake or pie full of. What else do we have? We have a lot of ingredient notes, or maybe these are, what would you call them, receipts, I guess. I'm not sure if they had those back in medieval times, but it just kind of looks good there. And we also have a lot of pots and pans and just ingredients and whatnot that would just be a major necessity for a baker. And also, just to make it look a bit more kind of, what would you call it, decorative, and just, it makes a lot more sense to have this kind of flour and whatnot scattered across the ground, and you can just get those using the yellow carpet. It probably looks terrible in default texture pack, but as for this one, it looks pretty cool and just realistic. So we have a lot of that, and I think that's just about it. If you're wondering how I got this place to be so lit up, I actually had to hide some of this glowstone underneath the carpet, so that's a little trick you can use if you need it. But I think for the first floor, that is about it, so we'll move on upstairs. Now, as for the second and even third floor, it's really just a bunch of storage and whatnot, but I think realistically, that's kind of what it would be. I don't think anyone would maybe be living in a place like this. But as for the decorations and whatnot, we have a lot of boxes and just crates full of stuff, such as, I guess, more berries or whatever's in here. Is that fish? I could have sworn that used to be like apples or something, but we'll leave that be for now. Just ignore that. So we have that, a lot of chests, some decorative torches to light the place up. I think this was a item frame, and then also a cobblestone wall just to kind of make it look like a torch holder. So we have that, also the little oven kind of extruding through this floor. And then that's about it for the second floor, so we'll move on up to the third. And once again, this is a bit more storage, but instead of kind of berries and ingredients, it holds a bit more kind of tools and whatnot, such as these pots and pans, and then also some ingredients over here. But I think as for this build, or at least the interior of it, that is about it. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you have any changes that maybe you think would be an awesome addition to this, please let me know in the comments. Other than that, if you have any ideas for future builds we could try, go ahead and let me know those as well. But once again, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate all the support you guys have given me on all of our Minecraft videos we've done so far. And once again, I hope you did enjoy the video, but other than that, I will see you guys in the next one.